building a better Bay Area. Moving forward, finding solutions. This is ABC7 News.
Now at 6, team coverage of the deadly rampage in San Jose. A 9th victim died overnight, and we have the names of all the VTA employees killed in this tragedy.
This morning, there's a growing memorial for the victims outside of San Jose City Hall. Here's a live look at that. ABC7 News reporter Julian Glover is there with details about tonight's vigil.
And security video showing the shooter just minutes before the attack. His home still an active crime scene this morning. ABC7 News reporter Amy Hollyfield has a live update from the sheriff this morning.
And Jobina is in the studio. She's digging into the shooter's past. Thanks for joining us. It is Thursday, May 27th. You are watching ABC7 Mornings live on ABC7, Hulu Live, and wherever you stream.
The county has now released the names of all the victims, and here are pictures of 3 of them. This is 42-year-old Paul Mejia, 36-year-old Tadajip Singh, and 40-year-old Michael Rudomican. The 9th victim has been identified as 49-year-old Alex Fritsch, who died last night. Other victims are 29-year-old Adrian Beleza, 35-year-old Jose de Jesus Hernandez III, 49-year-old Timothy Romo, who a neighbor told the Chronicle was a husband, father, and VTA power foreman, 63-year-old Abdul Wahab Algmaden, and 63-year-old Lars Lane, who, according to his LinkedIn page, was a journeyman lineman.
And now, where the investigation stands this morning, police say the shooter killed 9 people at the VTA light rail yard during a shift change that was just after 6:30 yesterday morning. We do expect a news conference with VTA at 10 this morning that will include a tribute to the victims and updates on how this tragedy is impacting the agency. The shooter has been identified as a VTA maintenance worker. Investigators have not revealed a motive. VTA light rail service has been suspended and buses will be available instead.
Tonight, the community will gather outside of San Jose City Hall for a vigil to honor the victims. And that's where ABC7 News reporter Julian Glover is live this morning with a look at that growing memorial. Julian.
There's simply no words to comfort the families who had a loved one snatched away from them, their lives cut short in this latest mass shooting. But we do know tonight the city of San Jose, the community at large, will be coming together with those families to help them grieve and mourn. Let's get to that growing memorial outside of the San Jose City Hall this morning. You see flowers left behind, candles lit still at this early hour, and flowers surrounding the names of the victims that we now know. Again, the vigil will be happening here at 6 p.m. tonight. Families we've spoken to are just heartbroken this morning, like the family of 36-year-old Tadajip Singh, a light rail operator who was one of the 9 people killed Wednesday. He leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. This morning, he's being remembered as kind, a friend, and a hero, an employee telling Singh's brother that Tadajip saved lives.
One lady he put in the control room to hide over here, you know. He can go there too, actually, but he just saved her, and then after that he go towards the downstairs, you know.
Co-workers telling the family he left a secure room where people were hunkered down to get others to safety. You can only imagine the bravery that took. While his own life was on the line, he risked it to save others. Again, that vigil is at 6 p.m. tonight here at San Jose City Hall. And for folks who might be coming in from outside of San Jose and are less familiar with the area, that's 200 East Santa Clara Street. For folks unfamiliar, we do know that San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo, along with city council members, of course, many family members, the VTA community at large will be here live in San Jose, at 6 p.m. to remember those lives cut short. For now, reporting live, Julian Glover, ABC7 News.
Julian, thank you. The daughter of a 25-year-old employee at VTA spoke to Good Morning America, and she says her father was working at the rail yard during the shooting spree, saying that he ran outside and hid behind a train car.
You know, he was praying the whole time and wasn't sure if he was going to come home to us, so it was definitely very scary.
You can help support victims in this tragedy by going to abc7news.com/takeaction. We have information about how to donate to the families directly impacted by this gun violence.
This morning, investigators are still at the VTA rail yard where the shooting happened. ABC 7 News reporter Amy Hollyfield live with an update from the sheriff. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. For the first time, we are hearing about the guns that investigators found. Sheriff Lori Smith told us this morning they found 2 automatic pistols and 11 magazines full of ammunition. She thinks her deputy's arrival saved lives yesterday, that when the gunman saw the deputies enter the building, that's when he stopped killing people and turned the weapon and killed himself. Another person died late last night, bringing the death toll to 9 shooting victims. The sheriff told us this morning there are no victims with injuries. Everyone who was shot has died. She says there is no obvious motive at this point. The shooter did not leave behind a note, but she says they are looking.
Obviously, we'll be doing searches on search warrants on emails and telephones, and we'll be able to see texts and things like that. Those kinds of things may lead to something. I don't know if there have been any written documents found so far, not that I'm aware of.
And in a very ironic twist, the sheriff revealed that these VTA workers had been trained for this. The sheriff's office conducted a mass shooter training exercise right here at this location, at this rail yard, within the past year. And then yesterday morning at 6:30, it happened for real. We asked the sheriff how her deputies are holding up. She said they are struggling after seeing so many dead that they could not help. She says investigators will be here for at least another day, searching this scene for evidence. Reporting live in San Jose, Amy Hollyfield, ABC 7 News.
Amy, thank you. As the deadly shooting rampage unfolded at the VTA service yard, firefighters were responding to a fire at the suspect's home on Angmar Court in East San Jose. That home is still an active crime scene this morning. Jobina is tracking that part of the story. Jobina.
Thank you, Reggie. Investigators have not said what caused the fire. We have a live look from Sky 7 right now, flying above the suspect's home, so we can get an idea of the scene there. The road is back open, and this is the suspect's home in the middle of the screen. We saw investigators yesterday in the backyard looking. You can see police vehicles there right now. It is still an active site. We do not know when they will clear this area, but of course, a number of things were found inside this home. A neighbor's surveillance camera shows the suspect just after 5:30 yesterday morning, dressed in a VTA uniform, calmly loading up his truck to head to work. But moments after the suspect left, the house burst into flames with heavy smoke billowing from the windows. This is cell phone video from a neighbor across the street. Those flames were so intense that firefighters couldn't initially go inside. With the mass shooting just 11 miles away, then the arrival of the San Jose Police Bomb Squad, followed by the ATF and then the FBI, it soon became clear to neighbors that this house had become a major crime scene.
I had no idea those two, were correlated. I just got some information now that he probably lit up his house and then went over there and went crazy. It's really shocking. I had no idea that type of stuff was, happening right across the street from my house.
Law enforcement has confirmed to us that both ammunition and fuel tanks were among the contents found inside the house. Reggie.
Jobina, thank you. President Biden offered his condolences and said his administration is monitoring the situation in San Jose. Yesterday's shooting happened as Biden's nominee to lead the ATF was facing a confirmation hearing on Capitol Hill. The ATF is tasked with enforcing firearms laws. California Senator Dianne Feinstein mentioned the shooting in her question to nominee David Chipman.
Well, I wanted to say thank you for that question, but first, I'm sorry to hear that news. I wasn't aware of that. If I'm confirmed as ATF director, one of our priorities at ATF will be focusing on gun trafficking, the unlawful transfer of legal guns to criminals, and perhaps in this case, a crime like this could be prevented. So as ATF tries to solve crimes, we will have to strive just as hard to prevent them from ever happening in the first place.
Chipman worked for the ATF for 2 decades and has since been involved with gun control groups, something he is facing Republican opposition for. ABC 7 News is staying on top of this developing story. This is the push alert we sent out on the ABC 7 News app when the news broke. Download the app and enable push alerts to get the latest updates right to your phone.
All right, let's take a look for a moment at what to expect weather-wise. And you can see as we look inland, temperatures are running in the upper 40s to near 50 through the Tri-Valley and low to mid-50s elsewhere. You can see a few clouds hanging over the East Bay Hills. That's a big difference from yesterday. And a little fog trying to push into Nevada also, where it's 41, 42 in Santa Rosa. 46 in Mountain View. Everybody else around the bay pretty much in the low to mid 50s. So let's talk about what to expect today. Temperatures are going to remain right where they are through the 7 o'clock hour. Notice we've got 50s at the coast all throughout the day, where the winds will be fastest for the longest period of time. The winds will pick up around 3 o'clock this afternoon, which is going to keep our temperatures in the 60s and 70s for most of us. Good news as far as your planner goes, that there's still the same conditions out there, so you should be prepared for them. Breezy across our north-south bridges and a little choppy on the bay. And I wanted to jump ahead to this weekend. If you're heading out, yes, there's some moderate out there, but the air quality is still going to be healthy for all of us. Jobina?
I'll take it from here, Mike. Thank you. Our team coverage of the tragedy in San Jose is continuing, including new details about the shooter from a VTA worker who was there.
I was shocked to find out who it was myself. I've had a good relationship with him.
Witnesses described the moment that he opened fire as deputies rushed in.